We're going to start with those lovely shoulder rolls. Maybe one at a time for a moment. Get that whole body kind of swaying with it a little bit. Add the elbows, bigger arms as if you're doing a backstroke. Good. Then we'll come back to both arms up and over. We're going to widen our stance so that we can pull those abs in like a cat and then squeeze open like we're doing a cow. A little extension in that spine. Couple more here. And then we'll go into our actual standing cat-cow. Hands on your thighs with knees bent. Exhale to round and tuck. And inhale to extend. And again, we tuck and we extend. We're going to put both hands over on that left thigh. Round in your cat. Inhale in that cow, round in your cat, and inhale in your cow. And then we'll go to the other side, again, rounding and extending, and rounding and extending. So one more time back to center through a cat, cow, hands to your heart, bring it up, and bring that down. Beautiful. So we're going to squeeze those knees together. We're going to bring the big toes to touch. We're going to roll up on those tippy toes, hold a balance for a second, and then gently come down. So just a little bit of calf work warming up here. You can leave your hands where they are. You could do a little movement with those hands if you want. Two more like this. Good. And then we're going to turn those feet out. We're going to bring the heels together. And as you come up, try and keep them together and then gently down. Same thing, you can hold your hands at your heart. You can bring them up and out if you'd like. And then again at the top, do your best to keep them together. One more. Beautiful. Let's go pigeon toes. So big toes touch, heels are out. Same thing, find your balance, pause at the top. Stay there for a second, add the arms if you want. Beautiful, two more. All right, leave the legs how they are, but step forward with your right leg. Lunge into that left heel, so you're getting a nice stretch, and that toe, again, is turned in. Bend that back knee a little bit for a deeper stretch, and then straighten it out. Come up, turn your toes parallel with your right foot. Lunge, press the heel down. Bend that knee, back knee. Roll up, turn your toe out, but try and keep the hips facing forward. Lunge and bend. Stand it up. We're going to step forward with the left leg. Right leg is turned in, toes are turned in. Lunge forward. Bend that knee. Roll it up. Parallel those feet with each other like you're in skis. Lunge and bend. And then roll it up. Toes out, heel in, lunge it. And bend that back knee. And come on up. And then just pedal out those feet for a second. Get some movement in those little bones of your feet. And then when you pause, put your weight on your right foot. Nice big toe prints. Lift that left leg up. Find that balance. Extend that leg out and lift it an inch and bring it down. So we're going to bring it up and out and down. Up and out and lift and down. Keep that going. If you want to, you can add a little bit of movement with the other leg. So we come, both knees bend, both straighten up and lift. Good. So just keep that going for me. So you're working a little bit through that right glute and quad if you're bending and straightening in that leg, and you should be working through that left quad. Two more. And relax, and some balance, obviously. Shift your weight onto that left leg. Make sure you have big toe prints. Right leg goes up, extend it out, hold, lift it, and bring it down. Bring it up, extend it out, give it a lift and down. Add the bending of the opposite knee if you want. Again, you can move with your arms if you like, or you can hold them at your hips or your heart, whatever works for you. 2 more. And relax. We're going to step back with that right leg. We're going to tuck our hips under and press the hip forward and bend into that back knee so you get a nice stretch down that front of that leg. And then bring that up. We'll step forward, opposite leg, right leg goes forward, left leg, bend it, tuck it under, feel that stretch through that quad. And bring that up. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. Let's head to the back of the mat. Wide stance, hands back down for your cat-cow. Beautiful. From that cow position, pull those abs in, walk those hands out. We're going to leave those feet. Actually, we're not. We're going to bring them in. Slide forward in that high plank position. Lift around the shoulders, squeeze the shoulders. So try and create this movement just from that shoulder area. Hips might be moving up and down a little, but only because of the shoulder work. 2 more. And then relax all the way down. Maybe lower yourself if you can. Let your head, forehead rest on your hands. Take a little quick breath here. And then bring those hands down by your sides, palms up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together to ignite those posture muscles. Slide your hands down toward the floor. All 10 toes pressing into the ground. Lift the kneecaps. Deep breath in, and then exhale. Stretch, reach, lift. Like you're flying with that upper body. Head in line with your spine. Just a little baby extension, and relax. Deep breath in. Same thing again. Exhale, lift. Stretch, reach on the inhale. Exhale down one more time. Deep breath in. Squeeze the shoulder blades, exhale, lift, reach with those hands, keep the toes down with the knees lifted, and relax. You're just going to roll over onto your side, facing me, legs are long, arm resting underneath your ear, lift that waistline for me. When you look down, you shouldn't really see your toes. Lift that top leg to hip height, let's flex through the heel and turn the toe down, tighten the quad, tighten your glutes, tap your toe. Lift up. Take this one really slowly, as if you're pushing yourself through jello. Keep that waistline lifted. Two more like this. Beautiful. Bring the leg down, pivot the toes toward the ceiling, lift up and tap your heel. Lift up and tap your heel. Keep that waistline lifted, up and heel. As you lift the leg, be aware that those ribs might want to drop down, so do your best to keep them up. 2 more. And relax. Ooh, give that hip a little bit of love. And all we're going to do is flip over, switch ends, and do the opposite side. So again, you're going to line your body up in that long, straight line. Arm underneath your ear, waistline lifted, abs in. Lift that top leg, turn your toes down, tighten your quad and your glutes, tap your toe, and lift. So nice and easy, nice and slowly, toe to toe. Beautiful. Bring it down, flip so that the toes are to the sky, heels come together as you come down. Waistline stays up. 2 more. And relax. Bend that knee, give that hip a little bit of love. And then this time we'll go ahead and roll all the way over onto our spine. I'd like you to flex your toes back towards your face and give yourself a pelvic tilt. So abs go in, waistline goes back. Reach those arms straight up in the air and then bring them overhead, but try not to let that pop you up, right? So tucking, low back pressing into the ground. Inhale, release it. And then we'll do that again. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. One more time, tuck. And release back to neutral spine. Remember that we're going to get back to that in just a couple of minutes, but let's go ahead and bend both knees here. Hands on your thighs, deep breath in. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground for ab prep. Abs in. Maybe choose to bring your arms into a T, and then exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. T your arms if you'd like, and exhale down. A little more. As you come up, you exhale, you can bring your arms either into a V or stick up arms, and exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Either a T, stick up, or V. And lastly, that last challenge would be arms go straight up over your head and then exhale down. If your neck is bothering you, you could just slide your hands up and then lift those arms overhead, or you could bring your fingertips to the edges of the skull. Make sure you don't lift your elbows first. You use the torso to lift and then come back down. When you get to the top, you can stay here, or you can extend and then support. Whatever you're doing, you only have two more because I think we've been here for a while. And then we'll relax and we'll hug those knees in for a quick break, stack them in tabletop, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, turn that into double leg stretch, right? So arms are going overhead. If that feels like too much, they can go in that T or the V or the stick up. If your neck is bothering you, the arms and the legs going opposite directions creates the resistance and the lever, so you certainly don't have to keep your head lifted. What you want to make sure is that you're either up or you're down with your head, not both, not coming up and down. And then we're going to do one more, and we'll hold. You choose that T, that V, stick up arms, cactus, arms overhead, and we hold here. And we reach through the toes, we straighten out those legs if possible, and then we're going to hug them in, bring the right leg in, extend that left leg up in the air. We're going to do a really easy version to start with a single leg stretch. So it doesn't even matter with your hands. I've got my right hand behind my right leg. My foot isn't even up in tabletop, so I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm going to use that right leg to lift myself up. And as I do so, I'm trying to get my right knee over my hip, right? So there's your challenge. We're going to do a few on one side. Roll it up, try and get the knee above the hip. I guess it's not necessarily an easy version. It could be. And then relax that down. We're going to switch it up. That left leg is coming in. That right leg is extending. As I come up, I use that left leg going forward to help me come up. So we talk a lot, or I talk a lot about not using momentum, and you're actually using that little advantage here, just so you get used to what it feels like. Maybe not used to, just so you know what it feels like. So in a minute, we won't be doing that. Last time, beautiful. Bend to both knees, and this time take them to tabletop, right? So make sure those knees are over your hips, they're not pulled in. And let's see, let's try this without any hands so that you won't be tempted. Lift yourself up, stretch, see how high you can come. Can you come as high as you did a minute ago, but without pulling this knee in? And then inhale, center, other way, and reach. And then keep that going for me, please. Keep that going. So you're going to do a total of 8 more. So it's 16 moves, one leg and then the other. Good. When you've finished your 8th single leg stretch, then just take a quick break and rock side to side. All right, feet go on the ground. Let's bring the big toes to touch. Bring the ankles and the heels close together and knees are together for our bridge. Hands down by your side. Let's give it a tuck so we feel that low back press into the ground, and then give it a tip so that low back lifts up. So we tuck and we tip and we make it smaller until you find neutral. So ribs pull down towards your hips, but hips stay fairly flat. They don't roll under, right? So neutral is fine, and we'll lift those hips up. So knees are squeezed together. We should feel this in our glutes and our hammies. Adding on, nod your head yes to lengthen out the back of the neck. Straighten out that left leg and keep the knees squeezed together. And then all you're going to do is like a little Dorothy tap. That left leg is going to open, close, tap, tap, tap. There's no place like home. Tap, tap, tap. In, 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 in. Good. Keep squeezing that right glute. You should feel this in your right hammy and glute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left leg comes down. Immediately extend that right leg. You're going to do it the normal way. I'm going to cheat a little bit. And then it's tap and tap and tap and tap and tap, 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 tap. Squeezing, tapping, squeezing, tapping, squeezing, tapping. And relax. Beautiful. Stretch those legs out. We're going to go back to what I mentioned earlier, right? So we're going to flex through the heels, lengthen out through the low back by pressing it into the ground. So we have a pelvic tilt. Tailbone is tucked under, low back is firmly on the ground. We're going to take our fingertips to our temples, right? So we're not back behind our head, just to our temples. Deep breath in. Exhale, secure that belly button to the spine, and on the inhale, lift both shoulder blades off the ground. So most of us kind of get to a little bit of a stuck spot there. So then we're going to, sorry, that was an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to lift our arms up. Then we're going to inhale, open them to the side. Then we're going to exhale, bring them back. Inhale, and exhale down. Here we go again. Deep breath in, exhale, pull the belly button in, inhale, lift, exhale, reach, inhale, open, exhale, back, inhale here, exhale down. Again, we exhale, lift, or inhale, lift, exhale, reach, inhale, open, exhale here, inhale here, exhale down, inhale, right back up, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale down, inhale up, exhale lift, inhale open, exhale here, inhale fingers, exhale down, pause. So that is one version of our, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, neck pull. Whew, but we're not going to pull on our neck. You're going to stick with that if this next version doesn't work. Same breathing. Deep breath in, exhale, staple the belly button to the spine. Inhale up and stop there if you need to and go to the exhale, or come all the way up on the exhale. Inhale tall, exhale hinge, inhale tall, exhale roll down without lifting the heels off the ground, a vertebra at a time. You inhale up, you exhale through that tough spot. You inhale, sit tall. You exhale to fold, you inhale tall, you exhale, roll it down. I'm going to do the modification this time. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, inhale, or that was inhale, lift, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, full version, inhale up, exhale through the tough spot, don't kick, inhale up, exhale, reach, inhale up, exhale, roll it down, inhale, right back up, exhale without kicking or lifting, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 2 more of whichever version you're doing, and that's fine. Even that modification, or not even, but obviously the modification is absolutely fine if that's what you need to do. After you finish that second one, go ahead once again, pull those knees into your chest. And from there, we'll go into our toe touches, legs in tabletop. Let's put our thumbs on our ribs, pinky fingers on our hip bones, index fingers into our belly button. Deep breath in, exhale, pull your ribs down towards your hips. Give me a little tuck if you want, nod your head yes. Remember, keep the ribs, so my fingers are close together now. When my ribs are expanded, they're like that, but when I have my ribs and hips together, my fingers are close together and we maintain that. For your toe touch, which could be a single leg toe touch or a single leg heel flex. It could be both legs together toe touches. It could be both legs together heel flex. Keep in mind, it's the thigh that moves away from the body. So this angle at your hip is what changes, but not the angle at your knees. You can pivot the knees open for a little extra challenge in that froggy position. Inhaling, keeping those ribs flat, that low back the same distance from the ground. Continuing to add on, if you want, you straighten the legs. And then once again, you can do single leg with a straight leg, stronger lever, or you can pivot from the hips, heels together, lower and lift. So lots of options. Make sure whichever you're doing, you go down slowly, you come up slowly, right? So maybe take 2 counts down and 4 counts up. Whatever you're doing, 2 more. That will make it even if you're doing singles. And then we're going to bring those knees into our chest, grab our ankles, rolling like a ball. A little pause at the top. Exhaling to roll, a little pause at the top. And next time you come up, let's go ahead and stay there. We're going to go to spine stretch. So if you do that with bent knees, that's fine. If you do it with straight legs, that's fine. Just keep in mind, you want the torso elongated. So notice if you've collapsed, think about lifting your ribs up. This time away from your hips, getting a little arch in your spine, shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders, and then give me a hinge, or you can press your spine tall and then press forward. Toes pull back towards your face. All right, let's sit up with those knees bent again, shoulders back and down. I'm going to do the simple version of roll downs to start with. So that means we go back on an exhale and we come up on an inhale. So just a 2 count move to start with, exhaling back, inhaling up. Two more like that. And then adding on, we take it 4 counts. So we exhale back. On the inhale, you pause and you exhale up. Inhale at the top, exhale back, inhale, pause. Then adding on, if you want, when you're back there on that inhale, open your arms into a T. Or, of course, you could open them into a V. Or cactus arms, right? And lastly, arms could go up overhead. You have 6 more of whichever version you're doing. So keep that going. Keep in mind, ear over your shoulder as much as possible. When you've done that last one, sit up nice and tall, and then pivot over and meet me on your side with knees stacked and hips stacked, only when you're finished and ready. So we've got right angles. We have a right angle here at the hip, at the knees, maybe even at your ankles. Then you take that hand and you remind yourself to keep that little mouse house here. And we'll start just with our regular plan. Two more. Good. Now we're going to keep those knees down, but heels lift, sorry. and we pivot open from there. And relax. Hopefully we felt that in that upper hip. We're going to come over onto our elbow now for side plank. And as always, the elbow is right underneath the shoulder. We push the shoulder back. We lift up out of it. We create space between that ear and shoulder. Engage those lats. You guys know all the different versions of side plank. So choose one and come up. And then we're going to add a little arch of our hips and come to center. We're going to dip and lift. We're going to arch, come center, dip, lift. Arch it up, come center, dip, lift. Arch, center, dip, lift. One more. Arch, center, dip, lift, hold, and down. And now we'll go do that plan and that side plank on the other side. So again, we want to find those 90-degree angles as we lie down. Knees stacked, hips stacked, ankles stacked, waistline off the ground. And we're going to pivot open from those heels. Beautiful. Knees go down, heels lift, and we pivot. And relax. And prop ourselves up for that side plank. Elbow under shoulder, push back, lift up, engage the lats, create space between the ear and shoulder, and then find your favorite version of side plank. And we arch. We come to center, we dip and lift. Arch it up, come to center, dip, lift. Arch, center, dip, lift. Arch, center, dip, lift. And two more. And relax. As you come down, pivot all the way over onto your abs again, please. We'll stack those hands up again, let that forehead rest. Take your right toes, tuck them under, press through the heel, lift the toes, stretch the leg, and then bring it down. So when you do that, as you land, you should feel like your right leg is about an inch longer than your left. Tuck your left toes, press through the heel, then point the left toes so the leg is lifted, stretch it long, and bring it down. So now, all 10 toes stay on the ground, lift those kneecaps, and then just gently press into the ground, lift those arms, hover here in your little cactus arms for a moment, and then bring it down. Stretch those arms out in a V, deep breath in, pull the belly button in, lift the kneecaps, push the toes into the ground with upper body, and stretch in that V shape. And bring it down. Now bring those arms a little more parallel. They don't have to be together, but just a little more parallel. Push your toenails into the ground, lift the kneecaps, pull your belly button in, lift arms. And gently bring it down. So those three versions of the arms, right? The more you get overhead, the more challenging it'll be. We're going to let the upper body relax now. Deep breath in, pull the belly button in, lift the legs off the ground, try and get them nice and even. So bring your heels together and see if they were even, and then give me little kicks, not too fast, just really controlled here. And relax. All right, you're going to choose your arms. They might be out here, they might be up here, they might be overhead. We're going to add the arms and the legs together. So we lift those legs, we lift that torso, and then we flutter kick, but nice and slowly with control. and relax. We'll press back in our shell stretch. So hips sit back on your heels. Then as you come up, let's bring those hands out in front a little bit, undulate through that cow and cat. All right, and then come off of that. We're going to roll back over onto our spine. And we lift those legs up straight above us. We're going to flex through the heels so we feel a stretch down the back of the leg, arms out into a T, and we're tick-tocking side to side. Notice if you go further on one side, I'm not asking you to go further on the other. I'm asking you to make it symmetrical. So maybe you don't go as far on the side that seems as if it could go further. Just get used to what that symmetry feels like. Beautiful. Back to center, adding on. Tick-tock to the left, then bring your toes a little bit overhead, to the right, and down. So you're creating a circle. We're going to go to the right on an inhale, up and overhead, finish the circle with an exhale. Now at this point, you can stay in that little turnout position if you like. That continues to give you a stretch, especially as you come overhead on the backs of your legs. But if it feels better, it looks prettier, you can point your toes. And then you can make that move as aggressive as you want to, right? As big as you want to with those circles. Legs going as far to one side as you'd like or not. This is all up to you. Just keep it going for me, please. And then you're going to finish your circle. Make sure you've gone in both directions. And then just take a break. Hug those knees into your chest if that would feel good. Okay. And then just bring that left knee in for a second, give it a little tug. Put that foot on the ground and bring that right knee in, give that a little tug. And we're going back to another bridge. This time, we're going to rotate our toes outward, heels in, and have a V with our legs. So a little different angle here. Deep breath in, find that neutral. So we tuck and we tip, and then we find neutral, and then we press up. So you might be able to come a little higher. You may be able to hover your hands here. Then you're going to lift your heels, but if that knocks things off course, lower your hands back down. So you're just going to lower and lift those heels. Just a little change here. A couple more like this. Good. Hands back down, lift your toes. Lift your toes. Hands hover if you want to try it. Good. And now we're going to go heel up, heel down, toe up. Heel up, heel down, toe up. Couple like that. Just easy peasy here. Although I hope you feel this in your glutes. And then back to center, almost done. Lower your hips, lift your hips, roll onto your toes. Down onto your heels, lift your toes, lower your hips. Lift up, toes go, or lift your heels, lift your hips. Heels down, toes up, lower, right? So if it doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it. And relax. Woo! Hopefully you got something out of it, even if it was confusing. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh. Let's reach around, thread that needle, and rock it side to side. Uncross, put that right foot on the ground, left ankle goes across that right thigh, press it open. And then again, we'll thread that needle, take a little rock side to side. And uncross one more time. All right, last thing we're going to do here, exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Take the hand that's closest to me and put it on the ground, but keep this shoulder off the ground. Take your back hand, grab your back leg, just like we did earlier. You're going to use a little bit of assistance, so it could be bent or straight, to bring yourself up, and then you're twisting completely to me. And then come back down. We'll do a couple on this side. You're going to lift, twist, and reach. When you feel like you can, let go of that leg and do it without holding on. When you feel like you can, don't put the bottom hand on the ground, right? If you can, right? Totally up to you guys. Just 2 more on that side. And then we'll switch sides. So left foot on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and extend that right leg because ahead of time. Or sorry, back hand on the ground, back foot on the ground. You're going to be going away from me. Lift yourself up and back down. And then at some point, you let go of the hand that's on the ground. Maybe you let go of the hand that's on the leg. Finding what works for you. Or support yourself the whole way. It's your workout. Last one, come down. Take a break. Bring that right knee into your chest. And just let it rock a little bit side to side. Left knee is bent. We'll pull that right leg over to the right. We're going to tuck that knee into the shoulder, pull back on those right toes, get some movement through the ankle, pushing and pulling, turning side to side. And then we're going to see if we can straighten out that leg and still hold on to the toes, even if you have to put it way over to the side and push and pull. And then move your hand down, up the leg, closer to you, down, closer to you. Flex through the left heel, point the right leg, lift yourself up. Elbows wide, then flex through the heel and come down. And then we'll bend that right knee, bring it up and over towards that left shoulder, supporting it. So we get a beautiful hip stretch. And then into a twist if you want, but you don't have to. As you mosey back through center, right foot goes on the ground next to the left thigh, and we pivot open, and we'll pause here. If you want to, you can add a little bit of weight with your hands, right hand on the right inner thigh, left hand on the left quad. When you're ready, drag that left heel in, extend it up in the air, get some mobility through that left side. Then we'll bend the left knee, right leg goes all the way over. Use your hands on that left knee to pull the knees up and over to the right. Feel that deeper stretch on that right hip. And then you can stay with that, or you can twist. When you're ready, come on back through center. Hug that left knee in. Take a little rock side to side. When you're ready, reach down, pull those left toes back, press them down into that left shoulder, the knee, sorry, and then get some mobility through that left foot. See if you can straighten that leg. And again, keep working through those feet. And then move the hands a little higher on your leg, lower towards you, straighten out the right leg, flex. Point the left leg, lift yourself up. Use your elbows, flex through the heel, bring it down. Bend that left knee, bring it towards the right shoulder, and options stay there for that delicious twist or delicious stretch in your hip, or twist if you like. As you come back through center, left ankle crosses the right thigh, and we pause here. Then drag that right heel in, extend that leg up in the air, and we'll get mobility through that right foot. And then we're gonna bend it, bend that knee, crisscross left over right, hug up and over to the right shoulder. Feel free to stay there or twist if you like. When you're ready, come out of that rotation, meet me on your hands and knees, please. And again, we'll just undulate that cow and cat. And then we'll bring the hands back, we'll tuck those toes under, pedal out your feet if that feels good. Bend those knees, one more cat. One more cow. Bring it up.